All right. We are live. Baby's asleep.
Maybe.
What?
Maybe. Hopefully.
He's asleep.
I don't know. I waited a while.
He's asleep. All right. So Paula's going to paint packs. I don't know what I'm going to do, though. I don't know. But we have some people here. So thanks for joining us tonight.
This little guy.
Yep, we're painting the sacks. The Adventuring Packs by Zealot Miniatures. They're a company from England, I believe. And they have awesome customer service. We got this set of Adventuring Packs from them. I had a gift card, and one of them was broken. So I just sent them a little message.
Probably because of, like, the transit or whatever, you know?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, because they had to ship it so far, like, overseas.
No, but the piece wasn't even in the plastic. It was a sealed bag. So, no, it was broken and shit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, they sent me right away, immediately. I just had to give them my order number. They sent me a whole new set of Adventurers packs, so we got 3 extra ones. So that was kind of cool. So I just want to say, like, you know, have no worries. If you order something from them, they will make it right. And to me, that's a big deal. So not enough companies do that, in my opinion. So big shout out to Zealot Miniatures. I will definitely be ordering from them again in the future. So, hello, Raven Rolls, Paul Ross, O'Neill Flynn, and Cameron F. It's good to have you guys tonight. We got some games coming up this weekend. We've got Monster of the Week tomorrow, which is going to be hilarious. We've got Tyranny of Dragons on Saturday.
We'll see. I've never played Monster of the Week before, so...
Yeah, it's a mostly a newbie group.
I guess we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
I mean, if Gabe goes to sleep.
He'll go to sleep. It'll all be good. So, we will have fun either way. If Gabe doesn't sleep, Lily will get to stay up and she'll be excited. So, you know. So, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, how are your chocolate chip pancakes?
That was too much sugar.
I agree. That's why I stopped and didn't.
It was like, I was like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, the kids loved them.
Of course they
But
did.
I didn't really want them in the first place. I didn't want pancakes for dinner.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fine.
It's alright.
Okay.
Caleb really wanted them. I wanted eggs. That's why. I would have preferred to have omelets, but we didn't have anything to put in the omelets.
Yeah, we do.
Nothing I wanted in an omelet.
You would have liked it.
I mean, ham and cheese, sure, but, you know. Paul says both of his kids are still up and running around like loons. How old are your kids, Paul?
Our kids go to bed pretty early, I think, compared to other people.
I don't know. Depends on who you talk to. He's been trying to get his kids in bed, it sounds like. He was hoping to sort some laundry and go to bed, but he's too exhausted to do it now.
I mean, that's fair.
Did you work today, Paul?
Life.
Yeah, so I am already about halfway done with my YouTube book. So that's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm not... It's all like, hey, you should start a YouTube channel for the most part at this point. It's kind of like preparing people who have never done a YouTube channel, I feel like, so far. So I'm waiting for it to get to the parts where, like, hey, you have YouTube. Now this is what you do. 3 and 6. Oh. As soon as Mom came home, they went to bed. Working at keeping the kids alive, yeah. Yeah, see, then you succeeded if they're still alive. That's my philosophy.
That's the end goal, you guys. Just
That's always been my end goal. As long as they're alive and make it to 18, that means you did your job. Right? Yeah. Isn't that it? It's about survival.
I mean, I guess so. Like...
That's really your only job as a parent. Just keep them alive.
No, you have to...
Have to what?
You have to teach them.
Teach them what? How to survive?
Yeah, how to live their life.
Yeah, they know how.
How to be good little people.
Make more money than you spend. and
They have to know. You have to teach them all the ways.
Not really.
How to do things.
Not really. Caleb's got it under control. You saw how he pushed Gabe earlier. And Gabe's got it under control. You saw how he came back and hit him right in the face.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
They're so, you guys.
They got this.
Crazy.
That's survival right there. You get hit, you hit back.
That fight instinct.
Yeah, that's all they need. That's all they need.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're ridiculous. Yeah, so I think Monster of the Week will be fun.
It will be. It'll be funny to watch.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I you have to send over your greatest fear or whatever. And I'm not really sure if I did that part right, but he didn't tell me I did it wrong, so I assume my info is fine. It's I don't know, you put together these different characters that are monsters or monster hunters or whatever, think Buffy the Vampire Slayer style or
right.
Supernatural or whatever, and you put the you put your character together, and I assume we're gonna fight some monsters or something like that, but he's supposed to play on the fears that our characters have.
Gotcha.
Something like that. So we had to send him whatever our greatest fear was and our deepest, darkest secret. And somehow he has to play off of that.
Right.
For something in the game. I don't know.
So did you get your backstory from Bill yet?
No.
Just kidding.
What the heck, Bill?
He's not here yet, I don't think.
I didn't get my backstory. I thought you were all with it.
I gotta write mine still.
You were hip to the,
Didn't I say my guy was like a loner or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you'd say.
Not really. I hate loners in RPGs.
It's so, typical.
Oh, so, okay. So I had a poll recently that I was very surprised about the results. So I asked people on Twitter, do you have any interest in reviews of tabletop RPG systems you have never heard of? And we had 56 votes. Now, he says he's still writing it.
Oh my gosh, how long is this backstory? Is it a novel?
No. So this is more important. This is way more important.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Anyway, so I asked them if there was interest in tabletop RPG systems you have never heard of. I got 56 votes. Now, what do you think the percentage of... So the options were yes, no, depends on theme, and other. How do you think that shook out percentage-wise? If you had to guess, Paula.
If they want to know what reviews of different types of systems.
RPGs, basically other than D&D for the most part.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I think they probably do.
You do? So what percentage do you think said yes, they want that? No, depends on theme.
75%, 66% said yes.
Okay.
I'll give it 18% said depends on theme, and the rest said no.
You are really close.
Oh my gosh,
really
are you
close.
Serious? Really?
So
Okay.
yes was 69.6%.
Oh, that's within 3.
Yeah, that blew me away, to be honest. That really surprised me. 7% said no. So that's 7% that are pretty much set in their ways. Depends on theme is 21%.
Hey, I was 4
And
away.
other is 1.8%.
Oh, I didn't know there was an other.
Yeah, but other, I mean...
It's just whatever.
Yeah, it could be anything as long as it's a D20, or whatever.
Yeah. D20 based.
Or anything but a D20 base, so who knows. But it's such a small percentage, it doesn't even matter. So really, most people are open to new systems.
Yeah,
which is surprising.
Close I was.
That is so surprising to me.
Why?
Because think about all the people we've ever played with, and every time I've proposed playing a new system or trying something, almost everyone always just wants to play 5e. If you really think about it. They're like, no, let's just play 5e.
Yeah, but that could be just like the, people that we're playing with.
I mean, obviously. But at the same time, people on Twitter who I tend to be friends with and that follow me tend to be more diehard fans. So they might be just more, you know what I mean? So I wonder if you were to just poll anyone who plays tabletop RPGs, I think you would have less people saying yes. But I still think you'd get a lot of people saying yes, though. You know, I think it'd be under 50%, but I even more than 40% is still a good number of people, you know?
I mean, so can I post a poll in like somebody else's group?
Yeah.
And like pull other groups?
Yeah, I think you can.
What?
They're talking about the double spacing of the character sheet for you.
Oh, no.
Because you said, are you writing a book?
BN Drake says, like, gotta get to 10 pages or it's not legit. Dude, if you send me 10 pages.
Yeah, that's not a backstory if it's shorter than that. Like, if it's shorter than that, it's basically, like, just the last week.
And don't double space it. You guys are ridiculous. APA format with correctly cited sources and at least 5 professional sources that have been written in the last 5 years.
So, that's funny. So
yes.
So that is so funny. So right before we went on stream while I was waiting for Paula, I was listening to the SJ something warrior. Anyways, it's a newer YouTube channel, last couple months.
Amazing.
And he was reviewing Riffs Africa. And so Palladium Books, Riffs Africa.
Okay.
So I saw it posted in a Savage Riffs group, and I was like, I gotta watch this video. Because I don't have Riffs Africa. I have Riffs.
What does this have to do with APA format?
So this is the thing. So I'm getting to that. So this is the thing. So I don't have that book. So I was like, I gotta click this video and watch it. Like, why is everyone dogging it? You know, I don't know. And so he's a black man going through how there's, in the first 100 pages, there's only like 2 pictures, maybe 3 pictures that have any depiction of a black person for Riffs Africa. But before he even got into that, the very start of the book has the typical disclaimer. And in it, it says that they researched Africa thoroughly and they cited sources and listed like 15 things, like Time Magazine and some books. Some pretty good ones for the time of the actual book being written, right? But there's no evidence of any of it being like used to inspire the book whatsoever. Which, whatever, it's a gaming book. It can be whatever you want. It was just really hilarious that they're like, yeah, we did a lot of research. And then like they're not even
use it at all, basically.
They used, so they have like Gods of the Nile in there. And no Set. Set's not in there. Or no, Set is in there, but like he's got a human name too or something. And like the whole idea of the gods of Africa are not done correctly, not even close. And anyways, it was really entertaining. But you know. Oh, Drake says you got to run it through the plagiarism scan too for the character sheet.
Oh yeah.
Grammarly saved my butt.
For sure.
You just got to pay the person writing it a lot more on eBay, and they'll make sure it's not plagiarized.
Dude.
Isn't that how you get your papers written in school?
APA format was at least better than,
I don't even remember that stuff that well. And I got an A- in my composition class in college, both of them. Or A- in the second one. I liked writing. I took creative writing in college. I did all right.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved it. I liked writing for fun. You would never know that now, but yeah, back then.
I mean, I did it a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, I used to like to write like fiction on forums and stuff back in the early 2000s.
Back in the day?
Yup. Like fan fiction kind of stuff, sort of.
I get that.
I was a nerd, you know, as I am in all things.
What?
Oh, so I apparently I pissed off some Michigan State fans today. So Le'Veon Bell is a football player, running back from Michigan State.
Hold on, before you get into
You'll hear about this at work tomorrow.
Am I gonna even understand
Yes.
the words you're saying?
You'll understand.
Okay.
So he was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, was very productive, was one of their star players a few years ago, like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. Was like leading rusher, was a workhorse. In other words, they'd give him the ball a lot, he'd run. They had good wide receivers. They were a good team, Super Bowl contending style team. And then one year, he decided to hold out. And he did an unprecedented thing. It's normal for a guy to hold out for a contract, to get more money or whatever. It wasn't that he just wanted more money. He wanted a guaranteed contract. So in other words, if he got hurt and his contract's for 3 years, he wanted to get paid for the next 3 years like he was playing, right? And the Steelers are a smart organization. They know that the likelihood of a running back staying completely healthy over 3 years is hard, and if you do guarantee money, it hurts you in the salary cap because you only have so much money you're allowed to pay players. And as a team that's contending for a Super Bowl, you really can't mess around like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So anyways, they let him sit out the year and, whatever, let him be on his way after his contract was up. Point is, he didn't play the last year of his contract, though. So then he got the contract he wanted the next year from the New York Jets 3 years ago. After he was signed, the Jets fired their general manager, fired their head coach, brought in a new general manager, hired a new coach. The new coach came in and said, we overpaid that running back, didn't use him well. It's like one of the worst teams in the league, it's the New York Jets. Anyway, so I posted wow, he basically went from this situation and holding out kind of like an asshole, and then got what he wanted, but then was on a crappy team, lost a lot of his reputation as like a star running back in that time.
Gotcha.
But now today, so he was cut just a couple days ago. Today, he was signed to the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, where he's probably going to be their featured running back, their starting running back, and possibly win a Super Bowl. So it's like this huge 180 that he's done a couple times in the last few years. But I pissed off a couple Michigan State fans who thought I was dogging him. I wasn't. I just was like, this is the facts. Boom. And then when they started commenting and saying, oh, if it was Tom Brady, you wouldn't be saying this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. I don't care if Le'Veon Bell holds out on a team that's not my favorite team.
It doesn't matter to me.
I got no dog in the race. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Gotcha.
As a dedicated viewer, I implore you to talk about the intricacies of Deflategate in your kobold voice. I don't even know what my kobold voice is. I did it in the game last week, but
what's Deflategate?
She wants to know about Deflategate. A few years ago, the Patriots were caught letting air pressure out of footballs. Yeah. So they've been caught cheating a couple times in the last 15 years.
So wait, hold on. Do you think the Patriots are going to lose this week?
I don't even know who they're playing.
Okay.
Remember, we don't watch football in this house.
It's important because that's who I picked at work for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too hard for me to say because I don't watch football anymore. We haven't had cable for 2 years. Anyways, so I don't know. So Deflategate was in the playoffs, I believe, if I remember right. The Patriots were caught with balls that were under the rules for how much pressure they need.
Gotcha.
But the thing is, it's funny because at the time when that happened, multiple players came out and from other teams and were like, yeah, I like my balls less deflated too, because you can hold the ball better. You can catch it easier.
Gotcha.
You can throw it easier. Like, there's a lot of things you can do if it's deflated a little bit under the PSI or just a little bit.
I mean, is there any sort of rule that says that it has to be inflated to a certain amount?
It has to be between a certain range.
Oh, well,
and
so
they were
was
deflating
it outside of the range?
Yes.
Well, then you can't do that. That's in the rules.
I know. They got in trouble. Yeah, they got in trouble.
Who cares if you prefer it? It's
no. I know. My point is other players said they did it, though, also. So the equipment guy did it, took the fall, but people were like, oh, Tom Brady told... he wouldn't do that unless a star player told him to deflate it to a certain point. So that was Tom Brady at the time.
Oh, so they're saying he was the one who directed them to do that.
Yeah, so the home team back then was responsible for fielding the balls, and they could do whatever they wanted with them as long as they were within the rules leading up to the game. So that was one of the things you used to be able to do.
He was trying to get them to deflate, so he got them to deflate the balls.
Yes, that is what people believe.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and that game they lost. And I think you're right, Flynn. I think it was against the Colts because the Colts ended up winning, going on and winning or something. Or somebody, whoever they played ended up beating them anyway. Even with that or something like that.
So then, like, I guess they got owned then, basically.
I don't think it's a big deal because both teams are playing with the same balls. There's only like 6 or 8 balls. And they cycle them in and out.
So the other team
so it doesn't matter. They're both
using
using the exact same balls.
Well, I mean, if they're both using the same balls, then it's probably just a stupid, like, oh, whatever, please don't do that again.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what the punishment was. They got punished. I think they lost draft picks, which is a big deal. But, yeah.
I know that. I know some things.
I think they lost, Drake. I'm pretty sure the Patriots lost that game. I'm pretty sure. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Dude, somebody asked the Google. It will tell you.
The Google?
The Google will tell you. It knows all. But just make sure, Drake, that
but it
when
wasn't
you
a Super
share
Bowl
the
against the Colts.
information and you confirm whether they won or lost or not, the real question is, are you going to cite your source using MLA or APA format?
It was not the Super Bowl. It was before the Super Bowl because in the Super Bowl you don't have a home team really. And on top of that, I think it was like either the conference championship or the semifinals. It was like the second or third round.
Nobody thinks you're right. Everybody thinks you're wrong.
Fine, I'll Google it. I'll Google it right now.
You better consult. Figure it out. Ooh, who's right? Ooh.
They did beat the Colts in the AFC Championship. So then they went on to the Super Bowl, 45-7 in the rain. After the game, the Colts complained that some of the game balls were underinflated, which would make them easier to catch and throw, particularly during bad weather.
So, were you right or wrong? I'm confused.
I was wrong. So, did they go? They lost that Super Bowl, though, didn't they? ...2015 Super Bowl. Was that the Falcons? Who did they play? Dun, 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 dun. The Seahawks. And the Seahawks won. Oh no, they did lose. With the loss, the Seahawks became the 4th defending Super Bowl champions to lose in the following game.
So what other one do you guys want me to start? I could do this one with the bow. I could, what's that one? I could do this one with the axe and the little tankard and the pickaxe and stuff.
Yeah, just do them all. Because you're going to use the same colors across them, don't you think? I think the sword looks sweet as hell. Do them all.
No, but I'm not going to paint all of them. The other one's not done yet.
Oh, okay.
So.
But either way, Deflategate was one of those things that even players came out and they were like, whatever. Like across the league, they're like, that's not that big a deal. Like Aaron Rodgers, I think, came out and said something. Retired football players. Like, it was what it was.
So you're also not a fan of playing by the rules. Is that what you're saying?
No, in my opinion, I think every pro sports team out there cheats in some way, shape, or form. Every single one. Like, when you look at baseball, football, basketball, I think they all have some form of cheating within their organization.
Yeah?
Yes. You're talking about too much money. It happens in college. I think every major college, football team, for example, has players that have taken cash, gifts. I think they cheat when it comes to practice time, because they're only allotted so much time. That's mandatory time. Obviously, players can do whatever they want, but they can't be forced to practice more than a certain amount of time. I think schools cheat with grades so that their guys can play. So just in my opinion, when you have money involved, there's cheating. Look at the Olympics. How many people cheat in the Olympics? I guarantee you, tons of Olympians cheat. So
you hear
that's
that,
my
you guys? Everybody's a cheater.
I think when you're at that level, I do think I'm not saying every player is a cheater. I'm saying every organization has a cheater. That's what I'm getting at. There's too many people involved. You think they're all on the straight and narrow? Hell no.
No, I mean, most of them seem like jerks.
Yeah, if you're looking at a football team,
I don't watch
you're talking
football.
about 53 on the main roster, another 10 to 15 on the practice roster. How many of them are on steroids or some other kind of enhancement drugs? Come on. When you're looking at salary cap, even that, I wonder if teams pay some players bonuses under the table. You know what I mean? Because you're limited by how much you're allowed to spend. Or hey, you come play for our team, and I tell you what, this company over here will give you an endorsement deal for an extra such and such amount. Why not?
It's probably implied.
Right. Well, and that they always say that. So they'll say teams in New York and Los Angeles have the big advantages because of advertising and all the other industries in those areas that can lead to endorsement deals. So LeBron James, when he went to the Lakers, they were talking about that for a couple years beforehand. They were talking about how, you have Hollywood, so movie opportunities, you have all of the big PR firms and marketing
this sounds
agencies.
super dirty. I didn't realize it was that bad.
In sports?
Yeah, you're supporting such a bad industry. I don't know if I'm okay with this anymore. We have so
Paul
many
says,
Michigan pictures.
endorsements are how teams get around the cap for years. So here's what I can tell you about Michigan that I know. So I used to work at Red Lobster back 17 years ago. And when I worked there, we were right next to U of M, University of Michigan's campus. There was a girl who worked there as a waitress. And her boyfriend was a running back for Michigan, a starting running back. It was his senior year. His name was Chris Perry. He ended up being drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round, I think. Anyways, he used to drive a Hummer, a brand new H2 Hummer on campus. And, we'd see it because obviously he'd come up there occasionally, right? Where did he get the money as a senior in college for a brand new H2 Hummer?
I don't know. Maybe
you're not allowed to work.
Wealthy parents.
Nope. I can tell you that's not true.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
If you ever want to hear him talk, I'll play an interview for you. Does not have proper English.
Yeah, but don't be judgmental about that. Some people
I've seen him and talked to him in person.
You don't
I liked the guy as a player. I'm just saying there was definitely illegal crap happening there.
I feel like you just
on my favorite
judgment
team
against him. on like how he was raised or whatever.
I'm just
This
saying.
is so unethical.
Oh,
Like this whole
shush.
thing is.
No. But that's sports. Sports, there's too much money involved.
This is not right, you guys.
You know
I
who
don't
might not be
know.
cheating? You know who might not be cheating? The Detroit Lions. And maybe that's why they haven't won squat in 50 years.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. They're not playing on the same field.
I didn't realize it was that like
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, Paul, there's some smart athletes out there. Don't worry. There are.
What? Is he upset too?
He said, what sports person sounds intelligent?
Oh my gosh, you guys, smart people can play, like, do physical activity as well.
So O'Neill Flynn brings up, about,
You guys are so judgy.
15 years ago?
What's
Not
the
even, maybe
problem?
12 years ago, something like that. So the Saints got in trouble for their coaches giving cash to players with bounties on opposing players. So like, oh, if you knock this guy out of the game, you'll get this much and this
No
much.
way, are you serious?
Yeah, so they were playing the Vikings when they had Brett Favre, and
no.
they were like, they were purposely going for his legs, and like his ankle was all black and blue after the game, and like none of the hits seemed super dirty. They all seemed within the rules, but yeah, it came out, and their head coach actually got suspended for a year from the NFL. He's still the Saints head coach today.
Oh my gosh, he's like is still employed and working.
Well, his defensive
cheating?
coordinator was doing it, but yeah, he's still there. His defensive coordinator's not.
What's that guy do?
I don't know. He was somewhere else like a couple years later.
Oh my gosh, somebody
Wasn't
hired
it?
him?
Wasn't it? Bob Ryan. I think it was Bob Ryan.
Somebody hired him after he got found
Yes.
out cheating?
Paula, what do you not understand? There is cheating on every single sports team
Like
has anything to do with money. College and above, I think small schools, you're talking about like Eastern and stuff like that, probably don't really cheat. But you probably have some players that do some steroids. I mean, in high school, I knew kids doing steroids.
my gosh, I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, I knew a few kids that did steroids in high school. I'm not going to out them, but yep.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, one kid went from being like kind of a nerdy looking kid to like gaining 50 pounds. It wasn't muscle though. But he gained it quick. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't know this.
And then when he
was such
stopped,
a-
he lost a lot of weight quick. Oh. He got all chubby for like a year and a half. Woo woo! The Bledisloe Cup is being broadcast on ESPN Plus on Saturday night. Is that like soccer or something? What is that? Sounds like soccer because I don't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Sorry, soccer's not my thing. A couple years ago, I tried to get a little bit into soccer. I couldn't really do it. Are you really that surprised?
Yeah, I didn't know.
How are you that surprised?
I don't know. I guess I think people do good things.
No. No. Just like anything in life, you're talking about like, I would say 20% of the world's cheaters, 20% of the world is like people who do good things, and then a bunch of other people just fall in the middle somewhere.
You think only 20% of people
Yes.
do like really nice good things?
Yes. Go
Rugby.
put a smoke machine under your hood and park on the side of the road. See how many people stop for you.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna do that right now because there's like a
You don't need to.
global
They've already
pandemic.
done science experiments.
We reached a peak in Michigan and have the most cases of any day since the entire pandemic started. I'm not sitting on the side of the road.
Whoa!
talking
So
to
O'Neill
anybody.
Flynn says, I don't remember the name. My friend's husband is the offensive coordinator for the Saints. I may ask her. That's pretty high honors. Like, to be the offensive coordinator for one of the best offenses in the NFL. Is it Pete Carmichael Jr.? Is that his name? Because he's the offensive coordinator of the Saints for the last 12 years. Peter Edwards, Pete Carmichael Jr. In 2009, he replaced Doug Marrone, who ended up going to Syracuse to be the head coach. A real sport, rugby. Yeah, okay. I mean, rugby's cool and all, but I don't know what this real sport thing means.
Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous.
You mean because they don't wear helmets? I can tell I can tell you what will happen. Somebody will call 911 and not stop, thinking they did a good thing. Probably, actually. They might not even call 911. You think? Well, I mean, you've probably gotten those 911 calls. But yeah, I think 20% of the people in our population are capable of going out of their way to do nice things for people. And that's probably high.
Only 20%?
Mm-hmm. But I think 20% of the people out there are scumbags. That's still, what, 1 in 5? 1 in 5 people? So then 3 out of 5 are just whatever, somewhere in the middle. Just doing their thing, getting by.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't have any facts on how many people cheat. I think it happens everywhere. I think if you want to be competitive, you have to cheat. You're not gonna, in college, you are not gonna be dominant like Alabama on that level unless you cheat. Now, I don't think Alabama necessarily has to cheat anymore. But I think they were when Saban got there, or at least before then. I think Ohio State cheats. So, we hear stuff in our fan base about stuff they do, but nothing ever happens. They were practicing when they weren't supposed to during the pandemic. There was also rumors they were trying to get their players sick during the summer so that they could go through a football season if they had to without getting it and being out for games.
Are you serious?
But other teams were doing that too.
Really
Clemson was doing that. Yeah, a lot of teams are doing that though. Clemson was doing that.
I don't care if a lot of people are doing it. It doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
If they're willing to do it. So here's my take on it, right? If you want to take steroids just to entertain people and shorten your life by 20 years, you do you. I mean, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be able to provide for many generations of your family if you save money correctly, but, So Paul says, no padding, having to play both defense and offense, being on the field 4 times longer, 11 minutes versus 44. So that means that's a real sport. Okay.
That's what a real sport is.
Okay. Actually, rugby's always been intriguing to me. We just don't have it over here the way you guys do. But I've always been interested in it. I've watched it a couple times. I think it's fascinating. There's some things that I think are stupid, but when they get on all fours and they push and they line up and push each other.
You don't like that part?
I don't know.
I'm just not sure what
Roll Stats says, meh, Darwinism. Stupid people die in stupid ways. Exactly. Rugby is a tough sport, but the NFL has real big guys running like freight trains. Yeah, that's true. I mean, rugby has some super athletes, too. Some guys from rugby have come over to football in America. In fact, Michigan had a punter that used to play rugby a couple years back, and he came to be our punter.
I don't know why Roll Stats is on here chatting when my backstory is still not done.
How are you going to run off Roll Stats like that? Don't do that. But no, I'm very much, if you want to do, drugs to enhance your physical abilities to entertain me, you do you. I just hope it's entertaining. Otherwise, it's a waste of, doing drugs for you. But look at baseball. So baseball had the steroid era.
This has nothing to do with D&D.
No, yeah, but that's okay. We'll talk about D&D if people want to change the subject. No, in baseball, though, they had hundreds of players associated with one doctor who was giving out steroids. And then multiple guys in that time who were like considered some of the best, like the Hall of Famers, like Barry Bonds and like Jose Canseco, Rafael Palmeiro, all these guys.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
All of them were on this list and got pinged. And so then it was like, well, should we let him into the Hall of Fame? What should we do? Like, so the 90s and the early 2000s, people are like, yeah, that's the steroid era of baseball. Like, like all those statistics are juice. Like you had pitchers like Roger Clemens, like all sorts of people getting caught. So, yeah, it was a mess. For baseball. Now the big way they catch guys is because they'll find that they have high levels of estrogen, because that's how they pass the steroid tests. You take female fertility drugs to counter the testosterone at the time of testing.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Manny Ramirez is the biggest name I can think of that got caught for that when he was on the Red Sox. Mm-hmm.
Like, am I just like dumb for just being like
you're an idealist
who just tries to like go through life and think that like...
No, I think you're just an idealist. You want to believe that everyone's good. That's fine. I just don't think that. Like historically, there's nothing
then, like,
proving that.
Then like you're like supporting an industry that's sort of
Sports?
like unethical. Yeah.
Because to me, it's a game. That's all it is. It's whatever. And to me,
yeah, but those are like other, other people are playing the game too. Just because you can't follow the rules, then like they get punished because now you're better, so now they can't follow the rules.
Some of the guys,
like,
think about it this
if
way.
If everybody just follows the rules, then we'll actually know who's better than
But it doesn't matter who's actually better or not. That's the thing. Some of those guys who do it, probably without doing it, would not be good enough to make it to that level. Would not even be in the league. Would have basically been in college, and that would have been their peak.
So then they shouldn't be in the league. Like, then you
Sure.
don't get to play. Like,
Sure.
that's okay.
Sure.
That's okay. You don't have to be, like, amazing at everything at every stage of your life. Like, it's okay.
You're talking about millions of dollars, Paula. Millions. The difference between making, like, 80 grand a year and millions of dollars a year. I probably would have done it too if I was a good enough athlete to do it. I don't know. I didn't have that opportunity.
I don't know. You could basically do it for 6 months and get out, and you'd be all right for, for a while.
Paul says, well, a sport where you're wearing capris and talk about the other team like 8-year-old girls. Drake says, gotta run, game time, we'll watch later. Roll stats, let me know if my backstory works. Hint, it's in the Discord. Paul says...
You didn't trust Roll Stats to make yours?
Probably not. Paul
yours
says...
is probably great.
Paul says, yeah, several AFL players have come to the NFL as kickers. Watched a documentary on one of the first Australians to play in the NFL. There was a guy who was trying out for the Lions a few years back. And, like, he could do crazy stuff, like punt the ball and make it hit the goalpost, like, from 40 yards out. Like, hit the goalpost. Like, the vertical. Like, all right,
I'm going to try and hit it?
Yeah, like, I'm going to hit the right post. And then he'd kick it and it'd hit it. And it was like, geez, oh, Pete, that was amazing. Like, that's... You like, tell a quarterback to throw a ball 40 yards and hit a goalpost. That's hard. There's a couple guys in the NFL who can do that, but yeah, it's nuts. Paul says, if there's money involved, there are people looking for ways to get one up on each other. 100%.
Yeah, but it just sucks to be like somebody who doesn't want to cheat, and then like you almost have to cheat so that you can be as even as everybody else. But like in the beginning, you didn't even want to cheat.
No, because ultimately I think you still have some people who have the 20%ers, as I'm just going to call them, who have the morals to not do it. But like football is a sport that a lot of like you have guys in football getting injected so that they can play a game for 4 hours because they have like broken ribs. We talked about this.
Like,
it's not.
Like, it's okay
for the faint of heart. Like this isn't a normal thing. It's not like you're just going and lifting some heavy rocks and building homes or whatever. Like you're getting hit by a truck multiple times a game.
Yeah, but understand why you want to do that.
What, get hit by a truck multiple times?
Yeah.
Millions of dollars?
Yeah,
Opposed to
but,
$40K a year?
You already have millions, so like just be
you don't start
happy
that
with
way.
your millions.
You love
Like,
you love what you do.
How
You're
many
competitive.
millions do you need? You know.
Depends on what you want to do with your life. Depends on a lot of things.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Paul says there's pressure from school, home, community, etc. will make kids do dumb things. Yeah, I agree. Well, and so you're not. A lot of times you're taking steroids to recover. You're not doing it like just to get big and strong. I mean, you are, but it's to recover from the workout quicker. That's what steroids do.
Oh.
So
Okay.
so like for example, I could go and do bench press today. Tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do bench press. But if I did certain steroids the right way, then tomorrow I should be able to do bench press again. That's the advantage. Steroids don't necessarily make you stronger. They make you recover quicker. That's what's special.
So you have to be like somebody who's already an athlete or whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's not like it's a magic thing that makes you strong.
Dude, I don't know.
It's not like Popeye taking spinach and
what do I know about
up.
Anything like related to steroids?
So
I've never had to take them for anything. Like I've never got sick and had to take them.
I don't think I've ever had to take them either.
I know that like if you have an allergic reaction, you might be given
some sports are allowing people to do marijuana now because it's similar. It helps you recover and it gives you an appetite so you can eat enough calories, because that's the other thing. To get stronger, you need to consume so many calories in a day. Some people can't physically eat enough calories, right? Like The Rock eats like 20,000 calories a day, for example. To replace
the calories that they've burned off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you have to do it every day.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So I'm going to come back to your question, Cameron. I like it. Cameron says, if you put a D&D party into sports management, everyone but the paladin would cheat. Probably. Paul says, even Daniel Russo cheated and won the All-Valley Karate. Exactly. He kicked him in the face. What a cheater. He won with an illegal kick to the face. We just wrapped up Cobra Kai. It was great. O'Neill Flynn, the NFL banned ground deer antler because players were taking it. Yeah, they've banned a lot of stuff that gets put into a lot of the over-the-counter supplements. Paul says anabolic steroids allow people to work out 2 to 3 times more because, again, you recover so quick. Rollstat says, doesn't sound OP at all. Nope, nothing OP about steroids at all. I just say, look, allow it. Like, screw it. Let's see how big, fast, and how hard they can hit. Like, let's just see what we can do. Like, give each team its own, like, experimental scientist. Like, let's do it. Let's go all out. All right. So Cameron asks a fun question. Chimera versus Manticore. Who wins? Now, I don't care what the stats say. But it's easy. Chimera. Didn't we go over this last time? Because they have 3 heads. You can bite with 3 heads.
No, he gave us a different one last time.
It was Manticore versus Hill Giant last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Chimera versus Manticore. So I can make it real quick and easy by just pulling up D&D Beyond if we really want to pull up stats.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do it.
So I think we just decided the Manticore was actually kind of weak last time.
Oh, well, I had 2nd edition. You wouldn't pull it up.
CR6 is a Chimera. I can just do it by the damn CR, right? Manticore is a CR3. So there you go, right there. Chimera wins. Oh, by the way, we put the Chimera out that's unpainted because that's what Caleb wanted you to paint next.
Where?
The Chimera. It's the white.
Oh, yeah.
So Chimera is an armor class 14, hit points 114. Manticore is armor class 14, hit points 68. So it's got half. Manticore can make 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 2 with its claws, or 3 with its tail. Its tail is 1d8 plus 3 damage. Claw is 1d6 plus 3. And the bite is 1d8 plus 3. Chimera has 3 attacks. One with its bite, one with its horns, and one with its claws. When its fire breath is available, it can use the breath in place of its bite or horns. The fire breath alone is 7d8 fire damage. The claws are 2d6, which is twice the amount. The horns are 1d12, and the bite is 2d6. So this isn't even close, man. Chimera all the way.
Not even.
And it's just cooler. Like, the Manticore looks cool, but it's basically a flying lion. Whereas a Chimera not only has the lion, it's got the dragon head. I mean, the goat head's whatever. But, just use your imagination. Look, I think it would be cool to make... So, I like it when you get a monster manual and it's got different varieties. So you might have...
What color are you hoping I do the wings?
I don't care. Probably the same as the dragon.
Yeah, but do you have a color preference?
It depends. What theme are you going for? Are you going for like a wintry theme? Are you going for like a jungle type theme? Like, what would be the habitat of this Chimera?
The world.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
I mean, no, they're not going to be brown.
I'm not saying brown. I'm just saying it depends on what the theme of the Chimera is. So what I was getting at is I like it when monster manuals have different variations of the monsters. So like you might have a snow manticore.
Pink calls on to something.
What? Pink? No. Red. How about that?
Green.
Okay, green's fine. I'm fine with a green dragon.
Green would be cool.
With a black scorpion tail?
Yeah, I could do that.
And you're not going to do the lion like a normal lion color with brown and yellow?
No, I will.
Okay, what about the goat? Gray and...
The goat will be white with maybe some black devil style looking horns.
All right, I'm cool with that.
Black horns.
Yeah, make it look evil. Chimera versus Remerhaz. Whatever. Chimera. I'm choosing the Chimera again. I just think the Chimera is a
pull it
badass.
up?
What? Compared...
You're not gonna pull it up?
I can. He told me not to. He told me to use my...
Look, I am using my imagination.
But I think a Chimera is better. I can't even spell Remerhaz. That's a CR11. But I think a Chimera is cooler. So, anyways, what I was getting at is I love it when monster manuals...
Like?
It's the blue thing. It's that.
Oh, yeah.
So, its armor class is 17, which is 3 more. Hit points
are
are like...
It tries to swallow you.
Even more than that. Yeah, and it's got like lava for blood.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like if you cut it, look, if you cut it, you have a chance of fire damage from its blood.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's in cold places. Anyways, but no, so what I was saying...
Centipede versus goat creature.
Neither. So...
Oh my gosh. You don't want to play anymore?
No, I'm just trying to make a point.
What are you talking about?
So the monster manuals that allow variations of monsters.
So you're good with green.
Yes. So the monsters, you are being an asshole. So again, like you might have a monster that's from like this habitat, but then they have a different variation from another one and another one. Like that's the stuff I like. So trying to reimagine like a Manticore from like an icy part of the world, or reimagining it from maybe even another plane of existence, and so then it's got different abilities and whatever. Or what about a giant one, like a giant Manticore that's like dragon size rather than just
Yeah.
hippopotamus size? You don't think that'd be cool?
I mean, sure, why not?
So centipedes and goat creatures. That's very vague.
Please define goat creature.
Yeah, what is a goat
You
creature?
thinking like giant centipede?
Beastmen from Warhammer? I do like giant bug creatures, though. A centipede's only a quarter CR, so... And that's a giant centipede.
Yeah.
So no chance. Goat creature's going to eat it in one bite. Crunchy. Yeah, it's got 4 hit points. Weak. Ooh. But... +4 to hit. It's 1d4 plus 2 piercing damage. But the target has to make a con save or take 3d6 poison damage. So
Pretty
basically,
good.
that's a first level kill. Like any first level party, pretty much. You're going to kill somebody.
Yeah, so you just can't be hit.
I think we know what's happening on Saturday during Tyranny of Dragons.
All of a sudden,
Bunch of
out
giant
of nowhere, a whole bunch of centipedes come. Pike screwed. Gotta watch the end of that.
How about making the mandatory a sorcerer? What? I don't get it. Yeah, I love chimeras myself. I think they're cool. But I don't know what you're talking about. How about making the mandatory a sorcerer? Oh, the Manticore a sorcerer. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. So you're talking about giving it spells? So I like mixing up monsters. So like the Rust Monster Hydra is a creature that a DM used for a meat grinder once. That was cool. So it could screw up your weapons, and its heads kept multiplying if you attacked it. And it was massive and dealt a ton of damage. So I like taking things like that and just mixing that and matching them. So why not a Rust Monster Manticore? Right? That would be cool. Or a Displacer Manticore.
I mean, why not? I don't know.
Just mix it all up. A Manticore with a anti-magic field. Like the Beholder. Screw that noise. Giving it spells is reliable in Pathfinder. Don't see why it wouldn't work in 5e. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I just like, mixing and matching stuff. And then switching up like I said, the habitat and like trying to think about how that would change the creature. What about like an elephant version of like a Manticore, where it's like a huge, massive creature?
What's your obsession?
With what?
The Manticore.
Well, it's just what's on my screen right now. That's brutal. A rust Manticore with rusting spikes. See? Was bad enough fighting a 12-headed Chiro Hydra. What's a Chiro Hydra? That's something I've never heard of.
Chimera Hydra. It's like a Hydra, or like a Chimera, but its heads keep replicating when you cut them off.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. Now I'm very interested.
After I'm done with this.
Okay. So it is a Pathfinder thing, it looks like. Lives in cold marshes or on glaciers, while the Pyro Hydra prefers deserts or volcanoes. Dude, this is cool. It's Forgotten Realms. So it's like 3.5. An Ice Hydra. Yeah, that is interesting. Wow. I think that's cool. So I love stuff like that. Who was it? Someone I was just talking to the other day in the new Tome of Beasts. They got a mix of like a turtle and something else into the book. And they were really excited. What was his name? Starts with an I. James Intricasso. I'm going to find it. I'm on his Twitter right now.
I'll paint this next time.
Oh, you're just priming it tonight?
Yeah.
That's fine. I've pitched a lot of strange monsters in my time, but the fact that Kobold Press let me take a Tricenatoris, which is exactly what it sounds like, makes me forever grateful to them. So like a Triceratops mixed with a T-Rex, it sounds like. Which sounds kind of cool to me.
That does sound kind of cool.
So again, just mixing up some things is always good in my book. I also am a big fan of like giant toads and stuff.
Yeah, you do that. Like, and then there's a whole bunch of big frogs.
I love it though. Because I don't feel like it's creepy to people. You know what I mean? Like going the route of a spider is like, oh, some people at my table might actually think that's a little creepy to think about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like frogs, everyone's like, whatever. And then they get swallowed whole. Like.
I mean, that's true. It's fine. It's fine.
So Pathfinder did an unboxing of their beginner's box.
Okay.
That's coming out November 11th, but they did it on their YouTube channel. It looks pretty good, I have to admit.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks very palatable for people getting into the game. Right? Which is what you want.
I mean, yes. The answer is yes.
So what would be some interesting combos you could think of off the top of your head? Like, just name a monster quick that you first think of. 1, 2, 3, go.
Like a Medusa?
Medusa. All right. Now, think of like a monster with 4 legs. 1, 2, 3, go. Quick, what's the first one?
I don't know.
What's the first one?
4 legs?
Yep, 4-leg monster. Go.
I don't know. All I can keep thinking about is like bugs.
So quickly, name a bug with more than 4 legs.
A centipede?
A Medusa centipede.
Oh, so it would be like a Medusa with centipedes?
Legs.
For hair?
Oh, you could do that? Or she could literally have like the body of a centipede and the head of a Medusa or something.
Oh. I like the centipede hair.
What if her arms were like centipedes instead?
No, the centipede hair.
So how would that work? Would she still turn people to stone?
No, she'd have like, weren't you saying they have some sort of poison attack or whatever?
Yep, when they bite.
Yeah. So she'd be like poisonous. So maybe she also has something where she can like release a poisonous gas or something like that too. To people around her. Like an AoE style.
Roll stats, you rock. Anyone who has played Expedition to the Barrier Peaks has a healthy respect for the Froghemoth. Froghemoth is kind of cool. I have to admit, I didn't know what a Froghemoth was until Locrius did his video about it. And ever since then, I've been obsessed. I need to get the mini for it. There's like a 5e mini for it, and there's a Pathfinder 2e mini for it now. Frog, and then I think there's 2 D&D miniatures for Froghemoth. Yeah, one's from Waterdeep, and then one I think was in their old, like their throwback to old school monsters. Oh, it's so good. So Paula, I don't know if she... Do you know what a Froghemoth looks like?
Is it just a giant frog?
Kinda, but not really. He's got tentacles, got multiple eyes on his head. So like he stays underwater in swamps. And so like you see like just like an eye or some like one little tiny thing that it lures you in. And then he comes up and he's like a badass.
Or she.
Yeah, or she. Froghemoth is cool though. Haven't I made you watch the Froghemoth video?
Probably.
With Locrius?
Maybe, but like that doesn't mean I was listening.
It's a good mini. I also need to get the Treant minis. I'd like to get the pre-painted one for the Treant.
Oh, you don't want me to paint it?
Well, I don't have a problem with that, but you already have a huge backlog. Look, so this is what it looks like. The pre-painted.
I know, I saw it. I've seen it before.
So this is one that someone painted and added a bunch of flocking to. Right there. But no, I like the pre-painted one. I'm cool with it. I'm a big fan of those types of monsters too. I love monsters that don't have to make stealth checks. It's automatic success pretty much, as long as they're not moving.
All right.
All hail Hypnotoad. Froghemoth versus two Trex. What's a two Trex?
Two T-Rex.
Oh, two T-Rex.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
You got to go Froghemoth, man, just because he's cool. He's going to pull them into the swamp. They can't swim with their tiny arms, and he's going to win with his tentacles. Froghemoth, right there. Although, let's look it up. Let's see what the stats say.
This is what our little cleric's pack looks like.
Froghemoth, CR10. Oh, I didn't know that was in Volos. How did I not realize that?
Okay, you ready?
Almost. Okay, T-Rex. I must be spelling it wrong. Yeah, I can't spell apparently.
I mean, that seems like a problem if you're trying to type something up.
A little bit, you know. I think I'm close.
What are you?
There it is. It's a CR8. So Froghemoth wins. T-Rex has 13 AC, 136 hit points. Its bite attack does 4d12 damage. And he gets 2 attacks.
Hell no.
The Froghemoth has more hit points, better armor class. Has tentacle. How much? Multi-attack, 2 attacks with its tentacles. It can also use its tongue or bite. Tentacle is 3d8 plus 6. A bite is 3d10 plus 6. So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
This would actually be an interesting fight between monsters. Because that bite attack from the T-Rex is more damage.
Okay, well, you know what? Next time we're going to battle it out.
You think so? Next time is
Maybe.
next week. I don't think we're going to do that.
Maybe. I'm going.
All right, I'm coming in. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. We will see you guys tomorrow for Monster of the Week. So game on, guys.